Ladies and gentlemen, former President Donald Trump will be indicted by Democrats, not the Department of Justice, not the special counsel, because none of them are independent, by Democrats. By Democrats who rely on MSNBC, CNN, the Washington Post, New York Times, everybody from the New Yorker, New York Magazine, the Atlantic, Daily Beast, all these publications, in addition to loyalists within the government. We can look at former bureau officials who are no longer there. The Honorable James Comey, who couldn't find intent. Clinton unintentionally used servers for 4 years, siphoning classified data from the U.S. government. They used a dossier that was complete nonsense that was reported on as if it were intelligence against Trump that caused the FEC to fine Clinton and the DNC for a campaign finance issue. Trump never got fined by the FEC for the indictment in New York. That'll be overturned by the Supreme Court. They'll probably get a mistrial in Florida for the classified data issue. He had the power to declassify, but according to Politico, the Wall Street Journal, and others, Trump indictment watch continues as his lawyers meet with prosecutors. So they're going to the special counsel is going to try to get Trump for a third indictment, which will be overturned by the Supreme Court. All of these indictments will go let's say he's convicted. So in D.C. and New York, he'll be convicted because he'll never get a fair trial. Okay? And the jury will just be like, donors of the Democratic Party, people who vote Democrat who despise Trump. Okay, you'll never find in any of Trump's juries anyone who owns a Make America Great Again hat. It will never happen. The man got 70 plus million Americans, 73 million or so, to choose him over mashed potato brains, but God forbid you'll find one person who voted for Trump in a New York or a DC jury. It won't happen. But Democrats, with their wonderful public relations monstrosity and apparatus, Hollywood social media algorithms that prevent the 51 intelligence officials or 50 plus intelligence officials who said that Hunter's laptop was an effort by the Kremlin to deceive Americans. All of this will indict Trump. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is they did the same thing as Trump. The problem is that situation that people forget. The reason that Trump and people who advised him in terms of the law 2 years ago, going on 3 years ago, 3 years ago, the reason that he said, hey, this is not fair or just or rational or logical is that he was up in a number, 6, 7. So he was up in a number, okay, of hotly contested states. And then the next morning, everything just, so, of course, that's fair and normal. There was no problem at all. There was no problem at all. Everything was fantastic. I mean, mashed potato brains is very popular. Biden is very popular, always has been. Yes. The problem is that he went through the law. He went through courts. He went through cases where they demanded absolute proof and evidence immediately without anyone testifying. So when Democrats say, well, Trump has baseless claims. He made baseless claims. Well, Democrats may have made baseless claims for about 7 years now, since he rolled down that escalator and said he was running for president, and they've continually made claims. The problem, however, is for example, the Honorable Adam Schiff, congressman, he's been making statements for, 7 years now that were not true. But Democrats have investigated endlessly statements that were baseless, and then they get the public relations spin, and they get possibly indictments here and there on process crimes. Oh, you lied to this official. Well, but why? They were investigated for something completely different. Oh, well, you know what? Still an indictment, and it's linked to Trump. So the entire American political system apparently doesn't want record low poverty, which is what we had under Trump. Hit subscribe to this channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. We will have a lot of wonderful interviews And I will reach out, and I'm reaching out to a lot of really wonderful, brilliant people. And we're going to have some wonderful interviews by December, even before October, November, December, and throughout the next couple of years. We're going to grow this channel. I know I'm doing one video a day, but a lot of wonderful things are taking place. Thank God. And the channel is just going to move to 300,000 subs and beyond. But more importantly, the content won't only just be my brilliant analysis, it'll also be interviews with really, truly brilliant, wonderful, amazing people. So we're going to transform this channel into not just my analysis, but also interviews with really awesome people and live streams. We're going to live stream those interviews. So that's going to be fun. But hit subscribe to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. Become a member. My Patreon is below. To my new Patreons, thank you. To the members, I love you. Thank you. And, part of the reason you subscribe to this channel is because there is a facade. It's this illusion that media wants you, and also like all the wonderful morally superior left-leaning pundits on this platform and other platforms, when they talk about Trump, you have to understand, most Democrats despise Trump only because he is a president who defeated Clinton in 2016. Really, that's what it comes down to. They don't care about his personality because Biden has said and done worse. You can look at every issue, and with every issue, say, well, his last year in his he didn't take it seriously. More people lost their lives under Biden's administration the first year from you-know-what. And so you have the situation, ladies and gentlemen, where the southern border, okay, more people are losing their lives. Okay, now, poverty is up. We've apparently averted a recession, which is supposed to be a good thing, but I don't think we've averted a recession. I'm still predicting, and I'm still telling everybody not to invest in the stock market. You can watch the segment when, first-time viewers. Stock market, unfortunately, is poised for a catastrophic meltdown, just like last year, but worse. And I predicted last year in 21. In 21, I said 22 will be a terrible year for the market, stocks, NASDAQ, and it was. So I was spot on there. But I'm still saying there's going to be a devastating, unfortunately, stock market crash because the fundamentals of the global economy are terrible, and our economy are terrible as well. And so you can't just shut down economic activity, which is what Democrats gleefully pushed for, blamed it on Trump, of course, but you didn't have to shut down economic activity. You didn't have to do that when the majority of the people who lost their lives were of an advanced age with numerous issues, but so the vast majority, 80%. So you didn't have to shut down all of society. It did no good for anyone. And then you pump 10 trillion, more than 10 trillion into the economy through fiscal and monetary stimulus. And then the Democrats said, oh, look, there's no inflation. And then they said, oh, there is inflation. And they raise interest rates through the roof. Then you have the crypto scams. And if you notice that Sam Bankman-Fried, his charges are just, coincidentally disappearing here and there because of procedural issues. Yeah. How about he was the second largest donor to the Democratic Party? You couldn't find a more corrupt political party. I mean, the Republican Party was more corrupt 20 years ago with Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld, and those people are now firmly embedded within this Democratic Party as the foreign policy hawks. So, it's really funny when you get, Democrats calling Trump a traitor when even the sight of the American flag is offensive to some Democrats, so it's really hilarious. But that is a Lincoln Project type of propagandist. But anyway, the entire American political establishment doesn't want record low poverty, record highs in household median income, which is what we had with Trump in 2019. Mainly, though, it's foreign policy. He's upending the apple cart. He does not just abide by whatever the intel community says. He's not going to send Americans anywhere on the planet at a moment's notice because somebody in a suit in one of the intel services say, hey, you know what, you should do this. Okay, Donald Trump is like a lot more like John F. Kennedy than Biden ever will be, or President Obama, or any president prior. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe. They'll probably try to indict him again either tomorrow or the next couple of weeks. And they'll fail miserably also. His poll numbers will just go up. Give me your thoughts.